Hi, this is Kim from Peakview Farm, and today we are going to share with you how to make your own pig lard at home, which is a byproduct from pork fat. And this is your secret ingredient, or your secret to flaky pie crusts and biscuits. We use this for sauteing vegetables and all sorts of cooking and baking. So it's a very versatile fat that you can use for all types of kitchen adventures. So basically we're gonna give you the what it looks like when it's finished. This is a finished jar of rendered lard from pork fat, and you can see what it looks like kind of from the top there. And so that's the finished product. We're going to show you step by step how to make it here, and you'll just need to gather some ingredients together, which is your only ingredient is the pork fat. And supplies you'll need are, you'll need a crock pot, pretty good size. This is a 6-quart or 7-quart crock pot, I think. You will need a funnel. This is used for canning. You will need a strainer, and you'll need a ladle. And that's it, and then some quart canning jars. All right, well, let's get started. All right, here is a package of pork fat. When we butcher our hogs, which are pasture-raised, non-GMO hogs, we raise here on our farm, we get several packages of this, which is pig lard or pig fat, and basically it just comes in a package. This is over 9 pounds, but we also have packages that are smaller if you don't need so much all at once. So basically you just open your package and you start taking your chunks of pig lard out and putting them in a dry crock pot. Make sure that if you just washed your crock pot, or if it's been recently washed, make sure there's no water in your crock pot, because water combined with the fat, the oil or the grease from the fat, it will splatter and it can cause pretty bad burns. So make sure you have a dry crock pot that you're putting it in. So we're going to take all this out of the package and we're going to put it in here. And you're going to set your crock pot on high to begin with, so it can begin to melt all of the fat down into the beginning of liquid that you'll see here in our next clip. So I'll come back in a minute after I get this crock pot all full. All right, so we have filled our crock pot pretty much as full as we can get it. This is, like I said, 9 pounds of lard will definitely fill this big of a crock pot. But basically this is going to be good because it's all going to melt down, and we're going to have a lot of nice liquid to work with. So I've set my crock pot to high. I'm going to put the lid on, and we'll come back. I'll let you know how much time it takes to get some good liquid going. Usually it's at least an hour, maybe more. It might be more with this much lard. So I'll let you know how much it is when we come back. It's been about an hour and a half, and we've had the crock pot on high. I'm going to carefully remove the lid so I don't drip any water in there and cause splatters. You can see that the fat has melted quite a bit, so we have a nice liquid here that it's floating in. We're going to take our ladle and we're going to start dipping out some of the liquid. As you can see, it's kind of a yellowish color, but we're going to pour it through our strainer into the canning jars. And you want canning jars because they can handle the temperature of the hot grease that is melting. And we use the strainer so that any little pieces of fat that still might be floating, and there's also pieces of meat still in there, we don't want those to get into our jars. So that's why we use the strainer. And we're just going to keep dipping as far down as we can go and fill up as much as we can here. And then we will let the remaining fat in the crock pot continue to cook down even more, and that will produce more liquid. And we'll just repeat this step several times until there is hardly any liquid left. And you'll see what that looks like once we get down to that stage. So I'm almost done filling up a full quart jar. There we go. So then we're going to move our funnel to the next jar. We're going to let this one cool. Might want to be very careful holding these. These jars get really hot. So we're just going to move our pot to the next jar. And I'm going to, oops, that'd be bad. We're going to tip this a little bit so that we can get a little bit more liquid out. and just carefully pour it in there. And any little pieces of fat that you catch in your strainer can just be put right back into your crock pot to melt down some more. So this is kind of a time commitment. If you have time to do this during the day, it doesn't take a lot of work, but you do have to let it cook for a while. So if it's a day when you're home anyway, it's a really simple project to do in the meantime while you're cleaning the house or just doing any kind of projects around the house. All right, so we've gotten down to a little bit of liquid in the bottom of the pot, which we're going to let stay in there so that it can help the rest of the pieces of fat melt down even further. And we'll come back and show you the next step. All right, what you're looking at here are the cracklings that are left at the bottom of our crock pot after we have pulled off virtually all of the liquid fat. And this can be cooked down till it gets nice and brown and crisp. And then you can cool it on paper towels and it'll drain the rest of, or a lot of the fat off, and you can crumble it up, use it like bacon bits, or some of my kids like to just snack on it. So over here we have our jars that are sitting and cooling. I have another jar that's already gone down to room temperature. I've got it in the refrigerator to solidify, and the rest of these I'm going to let cool to room temperature. This one is almost there. It's gotten pretty cool. The others are still a bit warm, and I'm going to wait till they cool off a little bit more to put them in the refrigerator. And you can see we've gotten about a gallon, just over a gallon of wonderful pork lard. And so it comes out to about $5 a jar, which is a quart jar. And if you compare that to pasture-raised non-GMO lard online, it's less than half the cost of it. So it's very economical for you to do it this way. For such a simple process, it's definitely worth it. You will want to store these in the refrigerator, and you can also freeze them. They will keep up to several months in the refrigerator and at least a year in the freezer. And so these are also, since they are from pigs that are pasture-raised and non-GMO fed, these are going to be higher in antioxidants, vitamin E and vitamin D, so it's also a healthier choice for your family. All right, so our pig lard has had a chance to solidify overnight in the refrigerator, so now you can see it's nice and solid, just like vegetable shortening. You can substitute pig lard in any of your recipes calling for vegetable shortening, and I think it's a much better alternative for that. You can order this from our farm by going on our website at www.peakqualitymeats.com and getting a hold of us. We don't have a payment option on our website, but if you just contact us, we will be sure to either include that in our weekly delivery, or we can bring it to the Farmers Market of the Ozarks every Saturday morning, and you can pick it up there. So please let us know if you'd like some, so we can make sure we have enough for you there at the market. So this one was, again, 9 pounds in a package, and it made over a gallon of lard. And I just wanted to show you also, here we have our cracklings that were left over from the pig fat, and so they've gotten nice and crunchy, and you can crumble them up and put them on a salad, or however you would like to maybe normally use bacon bits, so they're pretty tasty also. All right, well, thank you for watching. We appreciate it.